Howdy, my name is Jack Richardson, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the science of fishing. So, in today's speech, we'll be discussing how to go fishing, especially for bass in the state of Texas. And so a couple of things I'm going to be covering are the essentials of what you need to know before you go out. We'll be going over the kind of gear that you're going to be bringing out. We're going to be going over the type of tackle that you're going to want to use. And we're going to be talking about the environment in which you'll be fishing in and kind of what to look for, kind of how to identify great bodies of water to go fishing in. And so just to kind of start it off, we're going to look at Brad Paisley, who sang a song once, and he said, "If I hit that fishing hole today, she'd be packing all her things and she'd be gone by noon." And so his response to this was that he's going to miss her because he likes to go fishing that much. And so the reason why I'm talking to you about this is that it's a great pastime, and I want everyone to be informed on how to go fishing on their own. And so the first thing that we'll go over is the gear that you're going to need. We're going to talk about a backpack because whenever you're fishing, you're going to have a lot of gear and a lot of tackle, and so you're going to want to carry that in a great way. And a backpack's a great way to do that. You're going to need a watch per se because if you're going to be out there for a long time, you need to be keeping track of time. I think water is a great thing to always pack, especially in Texas. It's really hot. You're out in the sun. You think that you're by the water, so it'll be cool, but oftentimes it's even more hot there because it's muggy next to the water. And so make sure you're staying hydrated. So always pack water, and then also just bring the right kind of attire, right? So you're going to be out in the wild, out in the outdoors. You don't want to be wearing like high heels or a dress. Like you want to be wearing pants, hiking boots, that kind of thing to protect you from that kind of stuff. So for the tackle, we're going to be talking about tackle as in fishing tackle, not like a football tackle, right? So whenever we talk about tackle in this way, it's defined as the equipment required for a task or sport, and that's defined by Oxford Dictionary. And so things that you would consider to be tackle that might not be actually tackle are like a net or a chair or a hat. These are the kind of things that people often associate with fishing, but sometimes we don't often realize that since tackle is just the equipment required, those things aren't considered tackle. Like you don't really need a net to go fishing, right? You can actually just grab it with your hand. You don't really need a chair. You can be standing and fishing. You don't need a hat, but shade would be nice. But whenever we discuss tackle, we talk about like rods or reels or hooks or like line, things that you physically need in order to catch that fish. And so the kind of tackle that we'll be going over for you guys as beginners is like rods. So there's 3 different classifications of rods. There's a heavy, a medium, and a light. And if you think about heavy fish, you need a heavy rod, right? So it'll be a direct relationship between the size of the rod and the size of the fish. You're also going to talk about reels. There's 2 main types of reels. There's a bait caster and spinning. I think that for beginners, the best thing to do is to get a spinning rod and reel because the bait caster, it's harder to cast. There's a higher chance of like a backlash, which is where the line gets twisted up, formed into a knot, that sort of thing. And so I think that for you guys as beginners going out, it's often best to start off with a spinning reel. I also want to talk about line, the third part of the tackle. The line that you're going to be picking out, it seems like, oh, you just need some string, right? Well, there's a lot of different science that goes behind what kind of line you would pick. And I would recommend getting a braid over a monofilament. Braid is typically stronger. It resists abrasion, so whenever the line's under the water, it can hit a rock or a tree stump, and you don't want to have the line snap while the fish is on the line. And so I would recommend one with braid. It's a little bit higher. Tensile force as well, it can stretch a lot. So there's a couple other things like weights and swivels and hooks and leaders, and those are all things that you can get at the store, and they're kind of self-explanatory, right? And so for the last thing I'm going to be talking about is the environment in which you're going to be going out in. So you basically have 2 main types of water. You have a lake and a river. Fishing in a lake, it's a lot different than fishing in a river. So you have to look for different things. You have to look in, like more so with depth in a lake because there's a water column, and so each part of the water column, it's different temperatures, different pressure. There's a lot of different currents that go through, and so you're going to have fish be separated out. And if you're fishing for bass specifically, you're going to have to focus on baits that go right to where you want it in that water column. And so that's something to think about when you go out as well. And another big essential item here is the temperature of the water. So during the spawn and during the post-spawn, bass are going to be seen in different temperatures of water. And according to bassfishingsource.com, post-spawn bass prefer water that is around 65 degrees to 75 degrees Celsius. And so just make sure that you're always keeping in mind, like wherever you are, kind of the temperature of that water if you're going to be finding any fish. A couple other things to think about when you're fishing in a river is the moving water or stagnant water. So if you have a river that's stagnant, right, you're going to be seeing a lot of algae growth, a lot of bacteria, and fish are very, very sensitive to that, especially bass with their gills. And according to Solitude Lake Management, they explain how cyanobacteria can be found in stagnant waters, and that is very detrimental to bass fishing populations, and so you're not going to see as many fish in stagnant water. So whenever you're going out, look for look for moving water. According to an article that was released, a research article by Minimester et al., they actually found that in moving water, there's going to be a lot less of that kind of bacteria. So you might think, well, why is the bacteria not there? Think about the bacteria being flushed out. Kind of like you flush the toilet, it flushes it all out. So the last thing we're going to talk about is pressure of the water. You could go out and get a barometer and see what the atmospheric pressure was, but in all honesty, you can just go out online and look it up before you go out. So whenever you're looking for the pressure, the ideal pressure, according to a study by Hugo et al., it was noted that the ideal barometric pressure is around 29.7 to 30.4 psi. And so before you go out, make sure you're in that range, otherwise you might not be able to find fish because they'll be lethargic. They won't be trying to bite you that day. And so that pretty much summarizes the speech and how you guys are going to be going out. I hope that throughout the speech you guys are able to pick up on enough knowledge to be able to go out on your own and enjoy fishing.